Hey y'all, welcome to Pink Shade. It's Tuesday. So that means we're going to talk about 90 Day Fiance, the original, the OG 90 Day Fiance, the classic. It's season 10. This is episode 2. And I'd like to go ahead and say before we say anything else, Kimberly was right about the titles. Last week was Dearly Beloved, and this week is We Are Gathered Here Today.
Oh my gosh. So are we doing vows or are we doing Prince?
We'll find out.
Yeah.
If we get to celebrate this thing called life, then
Uh-huh.
we'll if we start talking about that banana in the elevator or whatever, then we'll know. Oh my gosh, it's good to see you. How are you doing?
I'm good. I got a very funny text from you when that I didn't respond well enough with a laugh
No,
and you
no,
wanted
you never
some.
laugh. You never laugh enough. I need
I know.
constant
I'm like a
reassurance.
cold texter. Like whoever's the
Yes.
coldest fish on 90 Day Fiance. Um who would be the
Hmm.
coldest fish on FISA? I don't know. Somebody like,
Oh,
that just is like, "Get away from me."
yeah.
Um, so I am that when I in my that's my texting personality.
Yeah, it is. I don't like it at all.
I'm gonna work on it. I really am. I
Well,
promise you. By
that's what
next
Katie said. She said she's going to work on her texting personality, and she hasn't done it. So I think the two of you are not are not working on things like you said.
it's we feed off each other and she gets hurt by my texting because I don't respond nice enough. I do a
Hmm.
lot of, "Okay, fine," like that,
You do a
and
lot of sure, and I'm like,
yeah,
"Do you mean
sure.
like sure, or
Right.
do you mean sure?"
Yeah. I need to use more emojis. I need to use more GIFs. I gotta work on it. But your
Mhm.
text said that my assignment was Manuel, animal hater, Ashley, witch, and Igor Justin and Nikki Exotica. And then you said you will do Jazz, data ass. Can't even say it. Dad ass. And
Uh-uh.
old man Gino and Sophie, dad ass, and one room Rob.
Now see, if that didn't get you to laugh and make a
That's
funny you
hilarious.
wrote back, "Okay."
I'm so I was so distracted with something else.
I was
And
like, "I'm doing my best work
I
here. I'm
know,
doing my best work."
I'm really sorry.
God
I
bless.
was so distracted. I was doing other things and I was expecting new people because the
Yeah.
preview had new people. So my response was no new people yet. And there were
Mm-mm.
no new people. We only had 4 couples.
I know, I was like, "I'm an
There
hour in and there's no
I
new people."
I really want to see the guinea pig guy with the mom in the closet.
I do too.
His
I
mom
do
lives
too.
in a closet. They're saving that for, like, the middle of the season because they know we wanna see the mom in the closet.
We need more. We need more from Mom in the Closet. We yeah, we for sure do.
I want a tour of the closet. I want her to do a tour, like, crib style of I mean, we have Rob, who has a studio apartment and an outside outhouse bathroom, and we
Mhm.
think that is bad, but this mom lives in a closet.
Yes, yes.
It's not
Things that
even a
pop
walk-in. It's like
No, it's not a walk-in. No. Things that pop up for me on my TikTok algorithm, which is also Instagram Reels algorithm, is, small apartment tours in New York City,
Oh, yes, I love
and
that because I'm a
I
tiny
love
house
this.
living obsessed person. Like, at
Uh-huh.
first I wanted a tiny house, so that's all I was, consuming, and then I
Yeah.
wanted a van, and now it's still I've been doing van life for, like, 6 years. So I love those tiny house space saving, like,
Yes.
the innovative, like, designs in the
Yeah.
tiny and those apartments in New York they're, like, modular, like, everything serves, like, 8 purposes because it's so
Yes,
small.
yes. Yes. I love it. I love it. I just saw this one that came up today, and I'll never find it again, but it was like a guy who was like, "I'm a decorator, and my friend asked me to" he has like $1,000 budget. It was just like a square room in New York City, and he literally got everything off Facebook Marketplace. He said he spent most of the budget on this one, like, big piece of furniture that's a dresser that will also, of course, be
A
where the
toilet.
TV goes and toilet. And it was so he spent most of it on that one huge, like, focus piece.
Uh-huh.
Then he made a headboard out of, like, a piece of plywood that he went to the fabric store and got some bunting and some stuff. Then he found 2 chairs on the street, replaced the seats with something he got from the thrift store, bought a coffee table for, like, $10 off Facebook Marketplace, and then this place looked like 100 times nicer than my home that I've paid an interior designer to help me with. I was
Incredible.
like, "Incredible," and he was like, the guy's budget was nothing, and he was my friend, so I helped him.
See, now this is like kind of what I'm going through in my personal life because my parents, they're moving to a retirement community and I
Yeah.
will have a room there because I'm the single child that doesn't
Mhm.
have their own house. And
Yeah.
so we had to go leave the house for 4 hours yesterday for the open house. And
Ooh.
I had like 5 hours of TV I had to watch for 3 recordings this weekend. So I was so
Uh-huh.
busy and stressed. But we went to Living Spaces, which is on a Saturday. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. And so we got a bed for me. I compromised on the bed. I wanted like a day bed or a Murphy bed. I wanted something cool, safe spacing, so I could have a couch, but my
Yeah.
dad didn't go for that. So we got a bed because they kept saying it's my decision and I could pick out whatever I wanted. But then when
Oh.
I picked out stuff that they didn't like, that was not, didn't apply anymore. And so now they kept trying to get me to pick out and like a bedside table and a desk because I need a
Yeah.
desk for my podcasting. And so they kept showing me the only desks there are like light wood, dark wood, and black. That's it. There's like no colors. Everything looks
Mm.
exactly the same. It's so
Yeah.
generic. And that's my parents' style. Like they love it. And so
Yeah.
they wanted me to get it. And so I was like, please, I need. And the lady kept saying, are you done? And I said, I'm done. I can't.
Mhm.
And I said, she's like, what about this one? It's dark gray. And I was like, I need some color or I'm gonna die. Like, I think they're painting the walls gray. I'm just the
Yeah.
floors are gray. I need color. Like, I'm fully like Wizard of Oz at the beginning of the movie. Like, it's horrible. And so I go online at the store and I show my dad like Bed Bath and Beyond and IKEA and they have like bright blue or turquoise or red and he's like, "Oh my god!" Like he thought it was the hideous. I'm a crazy hippie that crazy artistic person because I
Yeah.
want a colorful desk. But like we watch that this show where they go to the flea markets and they renovate stuff and then they
Yeah.
sell
Uh-huh.
them. And I was like,
Yeah.
why is my dad so into that show, yet he wants to buy everything from Living Spaces? When we could
It
go to a swap meet or a flea market and get like a repurposed thing like you're talking about.
is living spaces, is it I don't know because we don't have that here. So I'm just
Oh,
trying
I'm
to think
sorry.
about no,
Um,
I'm trying to think about what it's like. Is it like a pottery barn? Is it like a crate
yes.
and barrel?
Yes, and it's all furniture and it's all the same, but they have like they in the tchotchke section, like the decorative section, they
Yeah.
do have like weird like African masks that are mass produced in China,
Yes,
it's
right.
that kind
Uh-huh.
of thing.
Yeah.
And everything looks the same. Like the whole store, it's all the same color. They might have like one blue couch and then that's
Yeah.
it. And but like it's all mass produced. It's all the same. It's like if you want your house to look like a showroom, that,
Right. Okay.
then that's what you do. Like the way they staged this house. The house
Yeah.
looks beautiful staged. It looks
But it
the
does look like
way
someone lives there.
it
Yeah.
doesn't look like someone lives there. They took out all of our TVs. They left us one TV in the living room. My TV is gone. My parents' bedroom TV is gone. We have nowhere to sit. This is the only desk we have, and it's a built-in in the wall. Like they took out my desk. They don't want it to look like anyone actually like does things there.
Right. They want it to look the space to look huge
Yeah.
and yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I always thought I'd be a good house stager. I always thought that'd be
Mhm.
a good side job for me because I could really, if it's a blank space, I can really see it.
Your office looks amazing. I love that wallpaper still.
Yeah, you can only see the square behind me that I allow you to see. Because if I just panned a little bit that way,
Yeah.
it is a hoarder's paradise. Because I've been through all the closets and the Poshmark situation's out of control. I've got days and hours of work ahead of me with this Poshmark stuff, and I just don't have the time until after BravoCon.
You
I just
maybe
don't have
could
time.
hire someone to sell it and then they get a percentage? Is that a thing?
Okay, if somebody I have tried this, I have tried to find this person. If there's a human, not virtual assistant, because I know
Uh-huh.
Poshmark has that. There's a human that will come to your house, take all your stuff, put it on Poshmark for you,
Yeah, yeah.
do all the stuff, and then take a percent. I'd love to know who that is. I have tried to figure it out. And I've even asked the home organizer lady that's come, I've asked her if she knows anybody that offers that service because I've got so much stuff right now.
Yeah.
And anyway, I did just reach out to ThreadUp to get 2 ThreadUp bags. So the ThreadUp will send you the bags and you put the stuff in there that's all sort of mid-level. The stuff that sells the best is like Loft and J. Crew and Ann Taylor and stuff that's
Yeah.
middle of the road.
Yeah.
That stuff sells great on ThreadUp. So when I
For
get my
me,
2
that's like
bags
high end. All my clothes are from Target or Amazon.
I've gotten some cute stuff from Amazon that's for BravoCon. Today when Ingrid was over, we were having a meeting and we were showing each other our possible BravoCon outfit choices. She's like, "Where's that from?" I was like, "Amazon." Like, "Where's that from?" I was like, "Poshmark."
After CrimeCon, I rolled into UPS with like 10 masks on because I still had COVID. But
Yeah.
if I didn't return the stuff, I would have been charged like
Yeah.
$400 or something because I
Yeah,
had
yeah,
that
yeah.
much stuff to return. So I had like all the masks on. I sanitized my whole face and I just like shoved it to her and I was like, "Be careful. Here you go."
Should spray everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, a box came today that, no lie, is probably half the size of that, bookshelf behind you. It was so big. It had, like, 10 pair of shoes in it. It was massive, and some of them were, like, tall boots, like, it was a huge box, and I thought my husband was going to file a divorce decree on the front steps of our house. He was like, "If one more effing box shows up here," I'm like, "It's over, BravoCon!" I was like, "I'm returning it. I'm returning it." It's like 10 pair of shoes and then like a couple of sparkly things. I was like, "I'm returning it." He's
And
like,
I
"But
hate
when?"
myself
I
for
was like,
this. Yeah,
"Tomorrow,
for tomorrow.
tomorrow."
I
Yeah.
hate myself because I believe like support small businesses, support different companies, and then I just end up being like lazy and shopping on Amazon.
These boxes are from TJ Maxx, which is no better,
Oh,
but
you can order from I didn't even think about you can order from TJ Maxx and they'll deliver
yes.
it.
Yes.
Oh, I
That's
should
where
not tell my mom because she will flip out. She will love
because
that.
they have lots of stuff on there they don't have in the stores, obviously.
Oh, that's a great tip.
Yes.
Like I am size beautiful, as I like to say, which is
Yes.
I am a curvy gal and oddly shaped, and so it's hard
Okay.
to find clothes that fit. So I
Mm.
tend to buy like 5 of the same pair of shorts, and then like maybe one, if I'm lucky, one will fit. You know.
Yeah. Yes. I know.
And
Yes,
going to
I
the
know.
store is super traumatic, and I haven't gone in the store since COVID started. But
Well,
really, I didn't go before that either, because
get you onto the TJ Maxx because you will
that's a great tip.
yes. So what I'm gonna have to do later is then ask my husband, who had to bring the box in, to then put it into my car. And then I'll go to TJ Maxx tomorrow and get a shopping cart and put all those shoe boxes in that shopping cart and return them and be like, "Sorry. Also, whoever wears a size 6.5 or 7 shoe is about to score at this TJ Maxx." They are going to score because it's got a
Amazing.
lot of nice shoes that are all going back. But let's talk about we are gathered here today. Let's get to chatting. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today, episode 2. So we're going to start with Manuel, the animal hater, and
Mm,
Ashley, the Wiccan,
mm.
your people.
So, she's still having a panic attack.
Yeah.
We have done a, like, previously on and continued with the panic attack.
Yeah, it's
And,
a lot of panicking going on.
yeah, it was a cliffhanger, honestly, I was not that invested in. So, I have had panic attacks. I am feel bad for her, they are very bad and scary, but she is, like, saying, "I'm ugly crying, my makeup, I can't ruin my makeup." And
She's
I
doing this. Huh? 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 I was like, uh-oh. That's not good.
I didn't mean to judge, like, if she's genuinely having a panic attack, but usually when you're having a panic attack, you're not, like, able to say, "I'm having a panic attack, I'm ugly crying," and you're not worried about your makeup. You, like,
Right.
legitimately think you're gonna die because you can't breathe. But
Yes.
anyways, she is distraught, so I'm sorry for that. And her sister, I feel like, has had to deal with this a lot because she's still saying, "Yeah, you're a badass bitch. It's fine. You're gonna be fine. What did you say, mom? No, Ashley's just having one of her heart attacks. It's fine. You're a badass bitch. Remember? Yeah, can you order me a frappuccino? Badass bitch, you got this, girl." Like, I think this happens every week because it's always on the reality shows, the people that sage and the people that believe in everything happens for a reason and I can manifest. They're always
Mm,
the most dramatic, out of control people. Danielle and Mohammed, the
mhm.
reason she's saging so much is because she needs to sage herself because she is
Danielle and Johan.
Johan, sorry.
Yeah.
And generally on reality shows, it's those kind of people. Like if the
Mhm.
chef on Below Deck is saging the kitchen, you're like, she's a drama. She's gonna be mean. And she was. So Ashley also says, "I'm tweaking." I can't, and I thought, oh, that's a different use of that word. Is that what the young people say? I've heard it like drugs, but she uses it as like I'm freaking out.
Yeah, I've heard my kids say that, "You're tweaking. Yo, you tweaking."
Wow.
And, like,
Okay.
that's like if you're
Learning.
being, like, you're being extra or being weird or
Yeah.
whatever, "You're tweaking." Yeah.
And she's Ashley's very what I would call valley girl, but I don't know what the current term is because she's
Mm.
very, I cannot deal with life right now. I am legit having a panic attack.
Well, yeah, okay.
I mean,
She's 31 and lives in Rochester, so I don't know what the word is for a valley girl from
yeah.
Rochester that's 31.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she needs to summon like some isn't there a calm spirit or something she can have inhabit her body? Like just
One would think, I don't
what?
know.
I don't know. So she says she goes to the airport and her sister is there. I don't understand why they were at her house. The sister takes the sign that they were making. They
Mhm,
each drive to the airport separately, but talk on the
mhm.
phone the whole time. The
Uh-huh.
sister then meets Manuel because he does arrive, spoiler alert. Then the sister leaves the airport and Ashley drives home with Manuel. So the sister just drove herself separately to the airport for the 3 minutes to meet Manuel, even though
Yeah.
she could have met him at the house later or something. And because she had to hold the sign.
Yeah.
I did not understand what was happening.
I guess baby sister doesn't live, and she was just like, "I don't wanna go all the way back to your house to go all the way back to my house, so I'll just park at the airport and TLC will pay for my parking." I didn't quite get it either, but all I know is these 2 sisters are both they are both so stunning to look at in the
Yeah, they
face.
are.
They are so both of them are have such perfect, like, I don't know,
Skin
they're
and
just
faces.
skin and hair and their eyes are so
Mhm.
pretty.
They
Even
are.
though Ashley is tweaking, she's
Yeah.
still beautiful.
She still
Yeah.
looks great. And Ashley runs up to her sister. I'm legit having a panic attack. I should have worn a grounding crystal or something. She
You
said.
should have thought of
I
that. You
should
should have
have
thought of that.
worn a grounding crystal. I cannot.
Mhm.
I'm sorry because 'cause I'm sure some of your listeners are into grounding crystals, but, like, it's just ironic when it's the people who are the opposite, you know?
Yes.
If you are, like, a really calm Zen person and you use those, I'll be like, "Great, that works for you," but it's always the opposite.
Mhm.
So they meet, and she's still not knowing if he's gonna land because he hasn't responded to her, but spoiler alert, he comes out and he doesn't explain why he hasn't written her back. I guess his phone didn't work or I don't know,
Yeah.
but she's so happy and he is gushing for her. So he's either in love with her or really laying it on thick and is using her for something. I can't tell. But I think he likes her. He's saying like you are so beautiful, you've gotten more beautiful. No tears from those beautiful eyes. Like very gushing.
But my question for you is I was trying to remember from last week, and since I didn't take notes on them, maybe it didn't like register because I know that they were together 10 years ago and then they
Mhm.
were apart and they've been back together now like 3 years. But have they not seen each other in person?
No, I think
Has
she
she
goes there a lot.
to Ecuador? Because he's like, "You're more beautiful now." And I was like, "Has he not seen her in 10 years?" Like,
Right.
I didn't
And
understand.
they've been video chatting.
Yeah,
Also, they he only speaks Spanish. I don't know if he speaks any English.
it
So,
doesn't seem like it, not one word.
and I know oh, sorry, I got a notification for something else.
Okay.
So I think, and is there an English test to get the I can't even why can't I remember that?
In the United States?
Yeah.
I don't think so. We do know there's one for the UK. They have to pass
Exactly,
The
because of
A1
"I love
test.
you,
Yeah.
chicken,"
Mhm.
but so I don't know if he speaks English. She speaks Spanish beautifully,
So it's fine. Yeah.
so it seems to be fine. He's 34 from Ecuador. She's kissing him, getting lipstick all over her face. He hugs her sister, which so far no drama between them, but it literally has just started. And then the
Mhm.
countdown on the clock starts. 90 days until they marry. And then he talks about how scary flying was, and he thinks Rochester seems pretty so far. He's not being contrast of his reaction to Rochester and Jasmine's reaction to Michigan is quite startling. He's
Yeah.
pleasantly surprised that there are trees there and nature, and he thinks the houses seem very nice. So he also they go into her house. She makes him take his shoes off. So I guess
Mhm.
she's the shoes off household, and he meets. Rico Suave for the first time, and he seems very excited to meet the
Yeah.
little Yorkie dog. Like,
Yeah.
he's petting him a lot, and then he sees the cat, the black cat, and he's like, "I don't like cats. Cats in Ecuador, sometimes you'll steal them from the street or something, and you just
You because
borrow
you borrow one from the neighbor.
just
Yeah.
borrow one, and then they get all the mice out of your house, but here,
Mhm.
they just eat your food, and they don't do anything. So what benefit is a cat to me?"
Yeah, he was like, "Here, people treat them like pets." Well, they are pets.
What's the benefit of a dog then? Like, I
Yeah.
don't understand. They're a
Right.
pet for you to love and to love you.
Yeah.
So what is your benefit so far, buddy? I haven't seen any benefit from you. So he is like, she's showing him around and she's like, "Look, hot water when you wash your hands and take a
Mm.
shower." And he says, "Why? Why do you need hot water?" And she's like, "To bathe with." He's like,
Yeah, you'll
"What?"
see. You'll see. You'll get
He
real
says,
used to it real fast.
"It's
Yeah.
hot outside. You don't need it." And I was like, "Wait till you have your first New York winter."
Right. Right.
So she shows him all the crystals and the deities and the sound bath. And I noticed that there was incense burning, and that made me concerned because, like, has it been burning the whole time when she wasn't home? Or did
Oh.
she that seems dangerous. Or did she light it when they got home?
Yeah.
So she's kind of like easing him into the witch thing because
Mhm.
he knows, but he doesn't fully understand. And he doesn't seem that phased by it. He's like, "Okay, cool." I think he just thinks they're decorations, and that's what she likes as
Yeah.
just a decoration.
Yeah.
So then we have the biggest issue of the couple so far. He doesn't want Rico Suave sleeping on the bed. And
That's terrible.
the thing is, he seems to really like the dog. Like, he
Yeah.
pets the dog constantly, and the dog loves him. Like, the dog is instantly attached to him and, like, jumps up on the couch and cuddles in his lap. And, like, but he's like, "No, dogs don't belong on the bed. We're not doing that." And she took the door off the bedroom wall, off the bedroom, like the hinges, the door off,
Yeah.
because I think probably it was some sort of like, you have to feng shui your you can't have closed energy or something.
I
So
think yeah, that's what I was thinking. It was like an energy blocker. And so
yeah,
she lives there by herself. Why I mean, it's fine to have a
yeah,
curtain. Like, who
she
cares?
has a
Yeah.
curtain, but the problem for him is that means you can't keep the animals out at night. So
Yeah.
there's no door, the cat will come in, the dog will come in, and so they start arguing right away about the dog, and I was almost in tears because the dog just loves him so much, and, like, you can't I'm picturing the dog locked outside or something
I
and, like, not
know.
understanding why he can't sleep in the bed anymore, and it just broke my heart. and then
Yeah.
and then Ashley says the same thing. She's like, I don't wanna picture him sad, like my dog's sad or feels like and Rico has been with me through every partner I've had, so he gets to stay, he can sleep wherever he wants. And they're kind of he kinda thinks he calls the shots, and she thinks she calls the shots, and she starts crying, and then we
Yeah,
don't
I mean,
know,
she started crying,
she
like, "You're
really
not
started
kicking my
crying.
dog out of the bed."
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I
I would
loved
cry
that
too if
about her.
somebody told me yeah, I would cry too if somebody told me that. I'd be like
That means, like, she's our people, like,
yeah.
I liked that. So, then we cut to the next day, and she's teaching him about toilet paper, like, it goes in the toilet, and she's showing him how much to use, and that it was fascinating, and, like, don't flush too much down, and he's still petting the dog, and everything seems fine, and so she explains that the night before, he, kept trying to kick Rico off the bed, and Rico just kept jumping right back on the bed because
Mhm.
that's what he's been trained to do. And she says, "Rico does what he wants. He's a god." So I think she, like that Ariana Grande song, "God is a Woman." It's actually
Uh-huh.
God is a Yorkie, and he, and when she talks about deities in the house, I think she meant like Rico. There's one of my deities. I have my Buddha.
What is the cat's name?
Oh God, it's something witchy.
Right when you said it, I was like, "What was the
I
cat's
can't even
name?"
remember what the cat's name is.
Yeah.
We'll get it. People will write us. I
Yes.
didn't write it down. And, so she tries to explain more about the witch stuff, and he thinks witches are bad and hurt people, but
Mhm.
she's not bad. So instead of his logic being, maybe witches aren't all bad, he thinks she's not a witch. That's where his logic goes. So
Hmm.
because witches are bad and she's not bad, that means she's not a witch. And he says, look, when she broke up with her last ex, she could have done like a love spell to get him back together, or like get his nuts get eaten off by a tiger, do some curse on him or something.
Wow,
Like,
okay.
she didn't do anything. So she's not a witch. This is his logic is fascinating to me. And she says, "This is my work, it's my life, and it's all positive. I'm just trying to improve lives." And then she gets some food delivery that looked delicious, and he is looking up witch on the internet, and the internet says witches' powers are from the devil. So I don't know if he got that from Bing or Google or, Ask Jeeves, but someone told him witches are from the devil. And she is like, let me eat my freaking chow mein and let's not fight about this right now. And I hate that when you're trying to eat and ever someone wants to talk to you, have a serious
Yes,
conversation. I can't.
yes.
Or just put on the TV, let me eat my food in peace. And then
He
she goes,
kept saying for witch, he kept saying brouhaha or
yeah,
bruja,
yeah.
bruja, whatever is the Spanish word, and it was
Mhm.
funny every time they said it, I was like, "Brouhaha,
And I think
Brunhilde."
with Danielle and Johan, they went to a brujeria. Which is I
Uh-huh.
think which was like a witchy shop, I could be wrong, but remember she went to get all those, like, potions and stuff like that?
Yeah.
They weren't potions, I can't think of the right word. So we're gonna get witch letters, I know it. I love witches, I think they're great. Don't curse me. So I know they don't curse. So she goes outside to breathe and, like, get some air, and she has her phone in her bra like Angela, which I hate. That's bad for you ladies. I think you can get breast cancer. Don't do that.
I do it all the time.
I think it's bad, but I could be
Well,
wrong. That could
am
be
I
like
getting
a
ear
a
cancer if I put it
lifespan.
up if I put it up to my ear, am I getting ear cancer? I mean, if it's in
They've
my hand,
done
am I getting
studies
hand
about
cancer?
brain cancer. Like,
Well,
brain you're supposed to, like, hold it away from you with the speaker on, maybe.
I
Or
do
maybe you
that a
get
lot.
hand cancer. I don't know.
I mean, if you're gonna get boob cancer, I mean, it's just like everywhere the phone touches, you're gonna get ass cancer if you put it in your
Yeah.
back pocket, you're gonna get
Well,
butt
no, because
cancer?
I think if you're wearing, like, jeans or something, the material is thick. This is all probably just conspiracy theory stuff.
I think so. I
So,
think so.
then she smokes a cigarette, I think, or I don't know what it was. I think it was a cigarette.
It looked like a cigarette, yeah.
So that we can say is not good for you.
That's
And
for sure not good for you,
yeah.
yes.
And then she says to the producer, "Can I just, like, complain? Can I just bitch for a second?" And they're like, "Yes, please." That's what this whole show is. Are you kidding? That's what we've been begging for. So he's inside bitching to the producer and she's outside bitching to the producer, and it's very he said, she said about the witchy thing. If you played a drinking game with the word witch, you would be dead. And so basically, she's like, I think we have hope if he can just open his mind. And it's only like the second day, he will
Yeah,
get used to the witch thing. If that's our biggest problem, I think it's going to be fine. So we'll see. I think they're
yeah,
going to have way more, from the previews, it looks like they have way more problems, like about his family and stuff. And it's not
yeah,
going to be about the witchy stuff
yeah,
or
yeah,
the
and
dog on the bed.
like I said, I do believe they were at that 90-day party that I was at in New York,
Right.
um,
Together.
together, yeah.
Hmm.
I'm 92% sure of that, because since nobody knew who they were, nobody was asking to get it, but they could have been anybody,
Right.
'cause
Yeah.
nobody had even seen a preview or photos or anything, so we had no idea
Right.
who they were.
That
It's
has to be
weird.
frustrating if you wanna go to a party and kind of feel famous, but, like,
Yeah,
the show hasn't aired yet. That would kinda be
so
annoying.
yeah, I mean, if they were there now, we would know who they were.
Mhm.
Um, so now let's go to Sophie and Rob. So we start when she's on her flight and he's cleaning out his car and getting ready for her arrival. He has a little car. Is it like an Alfa Romeo or something? Like it's a little car.
Is that a very expensive car? Or is it
Ye- I
because
think, yes, it is a very expensive car, but his appeared to be very old, and also like the trunk was being held up by a piece of wood.
he literally has a 2 by 4 from
Hmm.
Home Depot that he uses to prop up the trunk. But I
Yeah.
was thinking, like, how does he have that car? And that's why he lives in this studio apartment with no bathroom. But he must have gotten it very old with it for a deal or something.
But isn't that the LA way?
Yeah.
That's
No,
to
I
have a
think
really nice car and then not such a great
that's
place to
the
live. Yeah.
stereotype, yeah.
Okay. Well, there
You're
we go.
you're car poor. Yeah, instead of
Yeah.
house poor. Yeah.
So he says he has a plan for a Disney princessy proposal and an airport dance. And then they're going to come home to a romantic candlelit dinner outside He says, "It says outside the house." And I said, "Yeah, hopefully not in your room." And what is outside the house mean? Does that mean a restaurant? But
No, it
no.
means where the bathroom is, like attached
Right
to
next to the
the patio
bathroom.
with the bathroom.
Next
Has
to the
he ever
bathroom.
been to Disney or seen a Disney movie? Because I didn't feel like any of this was Disney Princess.
Not one bit of it.
Yeah,
Nope, not one.
and
So,
he's
because
so proud. He thinks it's like the good, like it's gonna go viral. Like one of those dances where people
yeah.
dance down the aisle choreographed. He thinks it's like
Yes.
that, like it's gonna go viral, and it's so underwhelming. Like every bit of it is underwhelming.
Yes.
I really
Yes.
enjoyed watching it.
So we see her and she's like, "Oh God, I had, these bad flights. I had to change planes in New York and I had like 10 minutes to get from one terminal to the other, which is like so stressful." And
Mhm.
so she's like, she goes to the bathroom and she's like, "I've been in the same outfit for 25 hours. I'm sweaty and I smell bad." And of course, I'm like, well, this is not going to go well when she comes out and he's trying to be all,
Yeah.
because she's like, "I'm disgusting. I've been in a pink sweatsuit for
She
25
needs to
hours, right?"
do like a baby wipe bath, do a
Yeah.
Darcy in the bathroom and freshen
Yeah.
up.
She definitely does. So she walks up and she has 3 bags. And
I
we're
wrote that
always
down too because I'm so curious, like who had the 13 bags or whatever from that season. I'm gonna look it up
I cannot
because
remember, but I know it happened.
Sophie is like the girl's girl that loves fashion and stuff. She's an Instagram model,
She also knows that
and
she
she
has
has
to pack LA clothes. She doesn't have to pack any winter clothes.
right, that's true. Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
point. And she's small. Like I feel like
Mhm.
because I'm curvier gal, my stuff takes up a little bit more room because it's just more fabric.
Hmm.
You
Okay,
know,
that's a
like
theory.
I see her packing and she has like the tiny little tank tops and crop tops.
Yes.
That just
Yes.
folds up into a tiny little thing. I don't have stuff like that.
She has these teeny little thong underwears.
Yeah.
Um, so as she walks up, he's like, "Stop," like he said he was gonna do, hammer time. He tells her to stop. And then they're in their masks because they're in the airport, and this was whenever it was. And then he does a dance, and I said, and I guess it was choreographed, and it seems kind of not choreographed. And he has a speaker there, but he just sort of does a little two-step back and forth with the feet.
That
Um,
is
I
not a
didn't,
proposal dance. That is not a
nor
flash
did he
mob,
nor did he
nor
propose.
did he propose. That is it was like 4 moves
Yeah,
he was so nervous to do. I
yeah.
I just but he's so proud of it. He thinks like
That's
no one was even stopping and looking. That's the thing.
no.
No one even stopped because it was not grand. I think he thought it was gonna be grand.
So I know that sometimes you watch the extra scenes when they show
Yeah.
them. So let me know if they show a bonus scene of what
Yes.
this really looked like. Oh, but we'll never be able to hear the music, so we won't be able to put it together,
Right.
you know?
Mhm.
So then she was like, if anybody did this where I'm from, I would say no, goodbye. But he could get away with being corny because he's American. Hey, we heard that.
I
That's not
heard
nice.
that. And I watch, Bake Off and I have a second podcast about Bake Off, and they
Yes.
love their jokes about balls and, like,
Mm.
really inappropriate stuff. So, you're not that much better than us. I mean, you
S-
kinda are.
Yeah.
You're a little better, but
So they're leaving baggage claim or wherever. They're leaving the customs area, wherever. They're just leaving the airport. They're walking out of the airport. And as they're about to leave the airport, he pulls his mask down halfway. So only his upper lip is showing and gets on a knee and proposes. Like, why is that the spot? Like you're blocking the doorway, sir.
there's
So weird.
nothing romantic about LAX. I was just there 2 weeks ago with
It didn't make
COVID.
any
It's
sense. It didn't make any
horrible.
sense.
It's not romantic. Why and then she even asked him, "I'm not sure why you chose the airport,
And I'm
but"
not sure why you chose that spot where we're blocking the door when people are coming and going at the airport. So she goes, "Yes, of course I'll marry you." And then she says, they're sitting there in a talking head together, and she says, "I've never really thought about marriage at all until I met Rob." And then I was just like, wow, this is a guy I'd want to marry, but not sure why he did it at the airport. He was like, "It's romantic." And she was like, "Okay."
and yeah, he does some weird like I thought it was symbolic because the airport is the start of your US journey and you
Mhm,
can't be here without me. We're a package deal, like me in LA. Like
mhm.
kind of almost like he's implying that she's only wants to be there to be in LA. And It was almost like a diss, and she goes, "It's the weirdest explanation," and she's like, "Oh, that's sweet."
Yeah, it's the whole thing is odd. So it's a good thing he's good looking. So
Yeah.
now
Complete
they get stuck in the elevator with the cameraman and they're fighting about it because
I
he
died. I
pressed the button like like a toddler too many times and it jammed the elevator. So she's like, "We have to get out of this elevator. I'm claustrophobic." And he was like, "I can't do anything about it." She's like, "But you could do something about it because you pressed the button 6 times." And he was like, "Okay, but I can't do anything about it now." So they call the call button and like, "Are you in elevator one?" He's like, "I don't know, the one to the left." And it's all this back and forth, back and forth. And then he's like,
He's
"Well,
not nice about it, though.
no,
Like,
he's not at
he is
all."
actually freaking out, and I'm claustrophobic too, so I get like, uh, he's being kind of a dick.
Yeah,
Like,
he's like, "The elevator hasn't moved. It hasn't gone anywhere." She was like, "But there's still a floor below this one." And he was like, "Well, it's fine." She's like, "I really need to get out. I'm claustrophobic." So he was like, "We can't control it. There's nothing we can control." She's like, "Well, it's your fault because you pressed the button 6 times." Now she won't let that go.
he won't let that go. They're both wrong in this
Yeah.
argument.
And so, but let's remember though, she's been, traveling for a day and a half.
Yeah, and it's like 4 a.m. her time. Yeah.
So they finally get out of the elevator and he's like, "Stay right here and I'm going to go get the car." So then she gets into another elevator and goes up.
What was
Why?
that about?
Why?
He took too long. I mean, he was walking incredibly slow to his car. Like, if I had a partner waiting for me and it was at 4 a.m. for them and they were
Yeah.
so exhausted, I would like bolt to the car to get
Jog to the
them home
car to get
faster.
it.
He is sauntering to the car and
And
she
at one
got
point, did she go, "I think
frustrated.
I'll go and try to find him on the elevator."
Let me go back in the elevator. That just terrified me.
That was so weird. So, um, then she gets back in the elevator and she presses the button and the elevator goes right up. She goes, "See, I knew that Rob broke it. I only pressed one button and it worked." I was like, "Oh God, you guys have to let this go." So then he's at the car and she's calling him. And she's like, "Yeah, I came up or whatever." And they find each other. And then as they're walking to the car, he goes, "You fucked up the whole day."
Yeah.
And in the talking head, he goes, "I had proposed, I had done the world famous choreographed dance, and then she ruined it. She ruined it by bitching about the elevator." So she just looks at him like, "Oh, well." So they're driving home now. And so she goes, "Is it safe to be arriving at your house this late?" And he goes, "It's not that bad. There's only a gunshot every so often. I think I've heard like two since I've been here." And she goes, "Well, that's two more than I would have ever heard because I come from England and we don't have any guns in England." He
Yeah.
goes, "Oh, well. Oh, well." So her talking head, she goes, "Rob's neighborhood doesn't feel safe to me." And then he is saying in his talking head, he goes, "She has no idea what the hood really is." And then they talk about the hood and being in Inglewood and how is that the hood? Is it not the hood? And then he's like, "I've lived in way worse places than this." And she goes, "Right. Okay, that's good for you. But I'm coming from a place that has no guns."
Yeah.
He was like, "Well, sucks for
And
you."
homeless people have a place to go.
That's what she
And I was
said.
like,
Yeah.
Sign me up. When can I
Yeah.
move to England?"
England sounds great.
Yeah. Why aren't you guys living there?
But then she's like, "Is it okay, like, if we get out of your car?" And so he's made a cute dinner for her in the courtyard, as you pointed out, next to the bathroom. Um,
Which
and
makes
as
me think that it's a private courtyard and that bathroom is just for him. It's just not inside. Maybe he doesn't share it with neighbors.
Yeah,
I can't tell.
maybe. We don't know. It's definitely not a sanctioned by LA County apartment.
Absolutely not. No.
No. So he's made this cute dinner in the courtyard, and as they go into his room, he goes, "Do you notice anything different? You notice anything?" And she's looking around. He goes, "Look, I got you that dresser." She goes, "Oh, okay." And he goes, "And I got you your own gaming desk." And I was like, "Is she a gamer? Does she need a desk?"
Are they gonna see so they can game together, like
I
side by
don't
side? I didn't know they were a gaming couple.
I didn't know that either. That was brand new information. So his dog named Rome, I guess it's Roman, but she calls him Rome. He comes in to greet her and she seems to, remember the dog, love the dog and everything. And then she in her talking head, she was like, "Yeah, it's pretty different than my apartment in London because in London I have like a rooftop deck and it's very bright and airy and clean and no, I don't really want to live here. And I hope and I hope pretty soon we'll move to a safer spot and I can spruce it up and make it my own. So it's just a short-term thing." I was like, "Well, he's got such an attitude when she tries to talk to him about it." She's like, what happened to like the couch? She goes, well, I'll move the couch out because I'm trying to give us more space for the dresser and stuff. She's like, oh, okay, well that'll be fine for today. And he goes, you keep saying for today, but it's for tomorrow too. And she's but it's like he's being rude about it. Like he's got like he said, like, she didn't even know what the hood is. I'll show her hood. I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
well, why are you like threatening her?
Yeah, and
Like,
wanting it to be worse. It's already really bad.
yeah, like she doesn't even know. I was like, well, she doesn't have to know. I mean, it's not a competition,
No, it's not.
you know?
You're not trying to drag her down to the poorest you've ever been in your life. Like,
It's interesting. And so but then in the talking head about her, he's being really sweet and saying like, "I know she deserves more and I hope that we'll be able to move soon." But Ben, when she says anything, he's like, "You better get over it, girl. This is the best
yeah,
it's ever going to get for you.
yeah.
You're
Exactly.
you're lucky you've got an outhouse."
There's a
It's
roof
like,
over your head, so that's more than some people have, and get over
yeah,
it.
it's interesting. But then like the two of them
So
are sitting
cluttered
there.
too, by the way, like, it
The
n
what?
like, it's so cluttered, like,
Well,
what they
yeah.
did to my parents' house, they took out half all the furniture because you want it to look spacious.
Yeah.
Every single inch of that wall, like, the ground is covered with, like, a dress. He has, like, 8 dressers,
Yeah.
and, like, racks of clothes, and
Yeah.
there's nowhere to sit except the bed. It's
No.
there's nowhere to walk, like, you cannot turn around. I would be speaking of the elevator being claustrophobic, I would be claustrophobic in that apartment.
I'd be looking for my fire exit. That's what I'd be
Yeah,
looking for.
yeah.
Yeah. So the two of them sit outside and she's like, well, this is so nice that you made this dinner and everything. And he's like, yeah, can you believe about, we got engaged and everything. She goes, I don't even know if it's on the right finger. Do you think it's on the right finger? He goes, I don't know what finger it goes on. And then they're like, yeah, I guess we have to talk about getting married in 90 days. Yeah, I've never thought about a wedding. They've not thought two steps ahead at all.
Mm-mm.
So my question for you is, do you think that these two have ever discussed kids?
I need to know if they are using birth control.
So, if they have discussed kids, I would suggest for them our new sponsor, which is Little Spoon.
Amazing. What's
Little
Little
Sp-
Spoon?
Oh, it's so great. Okay, so I say this all the time. If Little Spoon would have been a thing when my kids were little, it would have saved me a lot of heartache for sure. So, Little Spoon is a meal delivery and snack delivery service for kids. And they have all the way from baby food, like the blendables and things, all the way up to big kids where they have like lunchers and plates and snacks. So they have baby blends, the biteables, which is when you're first learning to feed yourself,
Amazing.
then the plates, and then the lunchers, which are new and perfect for lunch boxes. They have 10 grams of protein and they're under $9 a meal. And it's chef's kiss perfect. And of course, my favorite are the snacks. I sent some of these snacks to Sweet Baby James, which is my nephew's baby. So he's my great nephew. He doesn't know that. He just thinks I'm his aunt, even though I'm really his great aunt. And he loved everything. He loved most the mac and cheese. He also tried the chicken nuggets and he also really loved the smoothies. And they also have kind of new, they have these dipsters and these fruit rippers. And like I said, James loved the smoothies.
Can
And
I
again,
order them for myself?
yes, you
Because
can.
it sounds amazing.
Yeah, and they have these dippers, so when, like, little kids are first starting to eat, they like to dip a lot.
Mhm.
So it's like everything's a vehicle for the dip, right?
Yeah.
Also me.
Yeah.
Also, chips are vehicles for
Yes.
dip as well. But the best thing about it, it all comes right to your door. You just open the box and put it in the fridge or the freezer and pull it out when you need it. Win, win,
Amazing.
win. So if it
Can
gets
you
to be
imagine how much
like,
time you would have saved not
I
having to cook for your children?
hours. Hours of somebody, like, yelling at me and be like, "I'm so hungry," if you just pull it right out and it's ready
Mhm.
to go and it's all, like, fresh and delicious. So, you open the box, you put it in the fridge or freezer. It's a win-win. So, you can make mealtime less chaotic and more manageable with time-saving, delicious, and healthy meals and snacks that your kids will love. You're gonna go to littlespoon.com/pinkshade, enter our code PINKSHADE at checkout. You'll get 30% off your first Little Spoon order. Little Spoon, LITTLESPOON.com/pinkshade. Enter our code PINKSHADE for 30% off at checkout. And then let me know if you tried it. Kimberly, let me know if
Amazing.
you try it.
I'm looking at online right now. Looks really good.
All right, now we have to move to Justin slash Igor and Nikki Exotica, aka Dead Ass number 3. Yeah.
So, her house, I keep pausing because every time we get like a little glimpse into her life, it's
Yeah.
just more and more shocking. Like the
Oh,
huge blow up photo of her on the wall in one of her
yes.
like modeling things, and a life size mannequin that I don't know what is for, and this giant pair of lips with the tongue
Yes.
coming out.
Uh-huh. I saw that this week. I was like, "Ooh." Then she's got that neon that says, "You're, like, really pretty."
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, she's really leaned into like her vibe. Her
Yeah, she's
aesthetic
yeah,
is
she's 47 and her room is like a 17-year-old girl's. Yeah.
exactly, but
Yeah.
that's her and she's embracing it. And she's packing to go to Moldova. She wants to bring her fabulosity to Moldova because it's very boring there, she said.
Yeah.
Meaning that people don't drive pink convertibles. And her mom comes over to pack, and she is really into the relationship. She first hated Justin the first go around, but now in this
Mhm.
rekindling, she's actually excited. Maybe because she's worried her daughter will end up alone because she's 47 and um she's changed a lot in her look, and maybe she's worried now she won't find a partner. So now
She's
she's
worried she's gonna have to take
fine.
care of Nikki, that's what you're trying to say.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
she's now fine with Justin. And it's like when my dad would be like, I want you to be, he always says, he's like, first I wanted Kimberly to meet like a Harvard grad and a doctor or lawyer or something. Then it was like just a guy with a job. And then it was like just a guy that's breathing. And then it was like just a guy that's on life support. That's his joke.
That's
Very
not funny,
Bob.
Dad.
That's mean, Bob. I am
That's not
fine
funny.
alone. Thank you. I'm married to myself and I'm quite happy. So, also, she has a complicated history with her daughter because
Mm.
she did not accept the trans thing when she first came out as trans, and she wouldn't accept it. They didn't talk for a while, but now they're very close and she calls her her daughter and she's totally accepting of it. She's cries when she remembers how she wasn't there for her at the beginning, and she can never get that time back, and I hope parents see that and it makes them think, and because she
Yeah.
regrets it. She says, "I'll regret it for the rest of my life that I didn't accept her at the beginning."
Did Nikki say that she came out as trans at 17 and her mom didn't talk to her from age 17 to age 19?
Yeah, and
And
then
now
I think
she's 47.
yeah.
So, I mean, she has transitioned into a woman way longer than she ever was a man
Yeah.
at this point, you know?
Mhm. And
That's a very interesting story with the mom, I thought.
it is, and I think Nikki's totally like over it and forgiven her, but the
Mhm.
mom hasn't forgiven herself. Um,
Yeah.
so she's trying to make up for it now. I think I'm happy that they reconnected.
Yeah, they seem to
Um,
have a great relationship
they
now.
do, and she's very concerned for this trip for Moldova. She's concerned something bad will happen because she's trans and they're not accepting. She's also concerned that her daughter will get her heart broken by
Yeah.
Justin slash Igor once again.
Mhm.
So apparently, Justin has been getting a lot of rejection from his friends because Nikki is trans, and
Mhm.
that makes Nikki start to cry. And she's just so stressed about the whole thing. And the mom is like, at least he's telling people you're trans. So that means he's into this relationship, and he
Yeah.
loves you. But it's so stressful. So she's crying and it's very sad. And then we cut to Justin in Moldova and he's doing some like parallel bar routine at the park.
I was like, "Is he a gymnast? I
He's
love a
fully,
gymnast. Look at him."
he's fully doing gymnast. He's Carrie Strug in the park. And he says he's a personal trainer and he works out all the time. And he's like, I love it because it makes me feel like a soldier, but I also like need it to clear my mind and get mentally right. I thought he was going to say he has a demon inside of him, like Osama. And the
Well, we got that spread leg right to the camera, which we could have done without.
you're gonna do it
Yeah.
was crotch
Yeah.
shot right to the
Yeah.
camera. But being working out like is I need to get into that vibe where working out is like a self care thing that's good
Yeah.
for your mind and
It's
not
not
a punishment.
yeah, listen, if you could have heard today, Ingrid was over for a business meeting, and she and my husband talking about, like, how upset they get when they have to skip the gym and stuff, and I
Yes,
was
my
like
mom is like, "If I don't
and I
get
just
my
looked at
walk, I'm crazy." And I'm like, "What? I would
that's
rather
when
watch
I said,
TV."
"We're
And
having
he
a business
denied.
meeting. Can you get out of here? Quit talking about the gym. Get out of here." Yeah.
So he is worried about her being trans because people are very narrow minded there. And she dresses very outlandishly, let's say, and draws a lot of attention. and he
Right.
seems to not wanna draw a lot of attention. So, he goes to meet his friend Sergey, and he knows that Nikki's trans and has accepted this. He's a good friend, and they go to play chess in the park with all the old men that are playing chess, and it's very cute.
It was
And
very cute.
they talk about how this is very new for them. They never knew any trans people before in Moldova, and how Justin was traumatized when he found out. And they had been intimate and he didn't know. And it took him like several years of working out and meditating to get
Mm.
past that.
A lot of
And
parallel bar work.
yeah, so much. And so some of his friends have rejected him, and he didn't know what to do. Like, he was at a loss, but he really missed her. So he started to think, maybe I could have her in my life as a friend. So they started kind of texting each other, and then it became back to romantic again. And uh, the friend asked to see a picture. And he's like, "Show me the hottest picture you have of her." And he shows him the picture, and he says, "Wow, she's a bombshell. She looks better than the women here." And
And she's like in a bikini in the ocean,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But Justin says, and this is where I thought it was gonna go a different way. Justin says, "She's had a lot more surgeries recently that I that since I've last seen her." And I
Yeah.
thought he was gonna say, like, "I do not like it." But he says they make her look more like a woman, and that makes him feel more confident and better.
Well, that was interesting because
Yep.
I don't necessarily see that. I thought she looked like a woman before when he dated her, obviously.
Yeah. Oh, what 100%.
And he did not know that she was trans for years. So,
Exactly.
obviously, there was no problem with it. And I don't necessarily think the surgery she's had done have made her look more like a woman. I think they've made her look older than she is, which is what
Mhm.
happens, you know?
What
Yeah, but
happens when
what
you do too much work? Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. And the makeup too. It's really the makeup choices as well. Like, she does very harsh, strong makeup.
Yeah.
She says it makes me look like a drag queen, but that's the look she's going for. When she
Yeah.
doesn't have makeup, she still looks younger. But yeah, the surgeries have not helped, in our opinion.
That's our
Uh,
opinion.
yeah, but Justin likes it, so good for them. And then they're like, "Do you think people would know she's trans? Do you think people will stare at her?" And he says, "Let's ask the old men over there that are playing chess." So Sergey takes the photo and shows it to the old men and says, "This is my friend's fiance. What do you think?" And they're like, "Oh, she's gorgeous." And Justin says, like, "Do you think you would stare at her in like a restaurant or something?" And they say, "Yes, I'm alive. I'm not dead." So the old men are super horny for her. So
Yeah,
yeah, it makes Justin feel good, but then he's like, "But if they knew she was trans, I don't think they'd be into it. I think they'd be upset." So he's
right.
still not sure. But I did love the, like, "Let's ask a stranger what they think." It
I
made
loved the
Moldova
old
seem
guys.
fun. Yeah,
Yeah. I think, if I'm remembering from, Andre and Libby's
mhm,
wedding,
mhm.
Moldova seems
Lovely.
beautiful. Beautiful.
Beautiful. The park was beautiful. The people seemed so his family was so nice. They did dealing with her crazy family.
But it's interesting, right? Because this is 90 Day Fiance. So generally on this show, the foreigner comes over to the States, the clock starts, and then
Yeah.
we go.
I
So
think
why
they
is
just
she going over
wanted I
there?
think they wanted this couple in as fast as possible because they found this couple and they're like, "Oh my god, look at
Mhm.
her. We need to use this couple." And the show we have going on right now is they should really be on before the 90 day.
Before the 90s,
Um,
yeah. Or
but
the other way, I mean, or something.
or
Yeah,
even yeah, but so they're definitely just it's one of those, like, where Big Ed is, like, on the single life, but he's still dating Liz, and it doesn't make sense, but they just want them on, and
right.
Matt Sharp plays by his own rules.
That's right. And thank you, Matt Sharp. We
Yeah,
love you.
and he's
Thank
gonna
you.
use this couple that he has found that as much as possible now.
Yeah. They're to be like the next couple, Jasmine and Gino. We got 12 more seasons of these clowns.
Exactly.
All right, Jasmine and Gino, here we go. So
Dad ass.
she's but dad ass number 12. So Jasmine is she's still in Panama and she's announcing her new look to the world. She's on her Instagram, she's announcing it. This week I saw her doing her Marshall's haul on Instagram. She
Does she
loves
like
to go on Instagram.
Marshalls?
She was very excited to announce everything that she got at Marshall's because that video I sent you where she showed her Amazon haul and she goes do 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 do, and she's danced to the camera.
I
We're like,
need
what's
to follow
happening?
her because she's so funny and
She's unhinged on the Instagram with
unhinged.
her
Yeah.
Marshalls and what's going to happen when she goes to IKEA.
Oh my
She's gonna
god.
come home with a whole
IKEA is
house
like
full of furniture.
Disneyland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we see her announcing on Instagram her new look. She took out her heavy extensions and she cut it and got her bangs because, Gino is super cheapy and he's not going to pay for me to have my hair done. So I have to embrace my natural hair. She knows once she gets to Canton, Michigan, that nowhere. Mm-mm. And that was a good call. And I saw her in person. Her hair looks great.
I did not like the extensions. I thought they did not look good. Maybe they were just cheap ones, but they
Yeah, I mean,
were
she has said that she had some form of alopecia that thinned her hair out, and that's why she was wearing all that extensions. But I don't know. I'm just saying that now that she's got it with her natural hair and everything, it's got to be healthier for what's happening from within her scalp, you
it
know?
can't be healthy for your scalp if you have alopecia to have fake hair down to your waist. That
Just
weight would like
pulling it. Yeah.
pull it, and so but again, I'm not an expert, but I think it looks
Same.
better natural for sure.
I think it looks great.
Yeah.
And she looks younger.
I don't love the bangs. I like it back better when she slicks the bangs
Yeah.
back personally,
Hmm.
but yeah, it looks great. She does look younger. Yeah, it's very
Looks
cute.
younger. So we see her packing, and then she cries and says goodbye to her sister daughter Liz. And
Conspiracy theory. I love it.
still questionable.
Yeah.
And then
Why hasn't Reddit gotten on that? Maybe Reddit has. I'm on different Reddit threads, but maybe they have.
Jasmine has said that her sister Liz is 20, and the reason she was living with her, she was very traumatized because her mother went through a bad divorce. I guess
Okay.
from Liz's father, I don't know.
Okay, so
Where's the other
they're
son?
like
We don't know.
16 years apart in age. I guess yeah, that happens. People do have
Yeah.
kids that far apart.
And then
Uh,
there's that other sister that I guess is in the middle. I don't know.
oh wait, who's the other sister? Have we met
Remember
her?
the one that drove her to, this was on the
Yes.
before the 90, and she drove her to she had that, panic attack on the side of the screen, like, "Oh, Gino, they're gonna turn me
Yes.
away," in the pink suit,
Yes.
and her
Okay.
sister was the one that kept calling her girl. "Well,
Yes.
girl,
Okay. Yeah, I
girl,
remember
you're the
that.
one that holds our family together, girl.
Yeah,
I
I know.
know,
You're like,
girl."
Jasmine does?
Yeah. So, she's got Coco in a stroller and everything. And then Jasmine says in her talking head, "This is the bravest thing I've ever done in my whole life." And then, "It's so hard. Oh, to pray to God. I'm doing the right thing. It's leaving my family is so horrible." Closes her eyes again, mouth wide open. Now, we see Gino getting his place ready, and he's decorated with Panamanian flags and a blanket. And he goes, "Yeah, you can see here on the WhatsApp that I'm blocked because see here where her picture would normally be, there's no picture. So this is how I know that she's blocked me." So
And
this is
so
the
I'm sorry, I was confused.
yes,
The fight we saw last week, which was the fight when she was in the dog clothing
uh-huh,
store, is that
yeah,
the fight where she blocked him,
yes.
or is time passed? Okay, okay,
I
I
think
was
it's from like the
confused.
day before. I think she went to give Coco one final groom.
Okay, the day before, okay.
This is what we're led to believe. It could
I
have
was
been a
like,
week
she
before.
blocked him over that? Over the fight over
Yes,
the comments
yes,
about the wedding date?
about the
I
sister.
kept waiting for a flashback to the fight that caused the blocking.
Mm. He wants me to leave everything, including my
Which he never said.
dog.
He
No, he
just said
never
he
said
doesn't
that.
want the dog to pee on his couch, and that's fine.
It's
It's
foreboding.
understandable.
So, he says, if so she blocked me, so I have no idea if she even made her flight. I don't know if maybe she's still in Panama. I don't know. He goes, but I've quit my job to be sure she's comfortable, but I don't even know if she'll make it to US.
Did he
Again, we don't know why they're saying this.
I thought I heard a
No,
very fast "the" where it was like, "The US," like, and it was almost one word. Okay, so
no.
he still is sticking with US.
Yeah, sticking with make it. He said, I don't know if she'll make it to USA, is what he said this time.
What is happening, Gino?
So he goes to the airport. It's obviously very, very early in the morning. And he says that Jasmine is his soulmate and he loves her and he hopes they'll be able to figure out this arguing. And his outfit that he is wearing at the airport, this is why I'm calling him Old Man Gino. He looked like he was 112. It's like he's got this loose shirt, kind of untucked. It looks like he's like shuffled out of the nursing home. Like
And, like,
he,
like,
big,
child came to visit, but, like, didn't dress he wouldn't let them, like, fix his clothing, so he's like, "It's
yes,
fine the way it is." Yeah,
yes,
like a grumpy old man.
yes, yes. So she's landed and she's walking through the airport and she's like, "I'm looking around and I don't want to sound rude, but Michigan is so terrible. Oh my God, it's so gray. Everything here is horrible." She's been on the ground less than 4 minutes and
I
she's
know.
already talking about how it's gray.
I'm so sorry to Michigan about what will be said in a few minutes.
It gets worse and worse. So they ask her about blocking him on WhatsApp, and she goes, "Yes, I mean, that's our fighting ritual. I block him, and then he knows he's done something wrong. But on the flight, I reviewed and calmed myself and reviewed in my mind all our happy moments and our love for each other. And so now I'm only a little bit mad." This is their fighting ritual. She blocks him on WhatsApp. That's their fighting ritual.
It's
So
like
it's like
foreplay for them.
so weird.
It's
So
I couldn't live wi I can't have, like, anyone mad at me, like, I couldn't live with that pit in
me
my
either.
stomach all the time.
I couldn't either. I can't stand it
Uh-uh.
to think I've done something that makes somebody mad at me.
Yeah.
So, Gino's standing there looking like a 78-year-old grandpa that shuffled out of the nursing home with the flowers. And so she comes out and is like, "Oh my God, Gino." And she hugs him and they cry. And then literally, Coco is pushed off to the side in the stroller. And I kept saying, "Justice for Coco. Where's somebody give Coco some attention?"
It's the Coco's, like, rolling into the baggage claim in the stroller.
The airport looks completely empty. I was like, did
Yeah,
no one else come in on this flight or did
yeah.
this was the area that they filmed in? Like I couldn't quite tell. So they kiss and they hug, and then we hear Coco going, "Meow, meow, meow, meow." We're like, she's like, "Oh, Coco." And every time he is so weird, he's like, "Oh, Coco." He just loves Coco.
It's like it's his child. Like,
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny.
it's cute. I think it's cute.
So then she's like, "Gino, stick your tongue out. Give me your tongue." So he sticks his tongue out and she sucks on it. And she goes, "Now I can suck Gino's tongue every night for the rest of my life. And something else I won't say."
I
And they
looked
both
away. I couldn't take it. I
they
pulled a
both laugh like
Phoebe.
crazy people. Yes.
Crazy. But that's it's like they're meant for each other.
Yes.
They both find the grossest, like, things
Yes.
funny,
Yeah.
and they're into the same things. They just also hate each other sometimes. Like,
Yes.
it's a love affair that will end in murder, I firmly believe, on Dateline, but
Yeah.
they're also kind of like no one else could be with either of them.
I know. Because this maniacal laugh, they're going, "Wah!" They're hilarious. So Gino's like, "Oh, I love your new haircut. It's so natural. It looks great." And then they hug and we get a close up of his hands on dead ass.
Mhm.
And are we supposed to believe he has no idea that she got this ass?
No idea.
I mean, we had seen it on social media. Surely he has seen it as well.
I think he's one of those guys that's just not that observant. Like,
Well,
doesn't see, like, the details. Like, I think some guys see just, like, a fuzzy picture. Like
well, yeah, that could be true. You're right.
like, once I was, like, really self-conscious about my arms, and I was telling like, a friend and her husband, like, I hate my upper arms, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Guys do not care. They are not looking. They do not
Yeah.
notice things." It
Well,
made me feel better.
that's true. That's very true. They are not observant.
Yeah.
That's right. So as they're walking out of the airport, she goes, "Baby, is this the air conditioner? Are we in the air conditioner?" And he goes, "Yeah, we're in the air conditioner because we're still in the airport." And she goes, "Okay, so now are we in the air conditioner?" He's like, "No, now we're outside of the airport. So this is the air." She's like, "Okay, is this your car?" He goes, "Yeah." She goes, "Oh, baby, that's your car. Baby, you have smoke coming out of your mouth when you're talking. I fucking hate it. I hate it." And he's just like, "Whoa, okay." And he's like,
I
"Whoa,
need her on
Jasmine."
Pillow Talk because she said the funniest line. She said, "I'm scared of literally walking outside and immediately, instantly dying of hypothermia, like
Yes.
turning to stone, but ice instead, like full on biblical." She walks outside and she frozen. She's worried that like Elsa
Yes.
is like
Yes.
going to freeze her the second she walks outside. I thought it was
It's like
hilarious.
turn into
Uh-huh.
this
With that ass just
stone. Yeah.
poking out.
Yeah, with the ass just right out of the back. Yeah, because that shit won't freeze. Well, so okay. So I got very distracted by the pictures of that. So she says in the
If
talking head,
someone
she goes,
can do like a frozen Jasmine statue, that I would love if anyone is, computer savvy out there.
talented enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in her talking head, she goes, "I hate Michigan. It's shocking to me. I feel like I'm gonna die of hypothermia in this place. This place, it screams depression. This place is so gloomy and so dark. And I think that God really didn't want people to live here, but they insisted on living here. By the way, she told me the same thing when I met her. God did not intend for people to live in Michigan. That's what she
That's
said.
I think she said pretty much the same thing on Pillow Talk on the reunion, and Sean Robinson was like, I'm from Michigan."
Yeah, she's like, so too bad that you're from
God,
there. The depressing man from Michigan.
there's a line
Mhm.
from King of the Hill when they go to Arizona and it's like 112 and Peggy steps out of the car and she goes, "This city is a testament to man's arrogance. We are not supposed to be here."
Well, that's what Jasmine is saying in Michigan, that God did not intend for people to live there, but people insisted.
Yeah,
People insisted on living in
I
Michigan.
agree. I
So
feel the same way about LA. We have like no natural water sources. Like it's like desert. We're not supposed to be here.
also the earthquakes and the
Yeah.
fires. Yeah. So
Those are from people. The fires are from people though. Let's be real.
so they walk in through the garage, which also wasn't a great idea on his part. Why not bring her in the front door? But he's just like going through the garage or whatever. And she
It's
goes,
okay, it's here's my question, like,
yeah,
everything about this house tour he does wrong and it's bad,
well,
and
yeah.
is that just a like, a dumb guy thing that, like, he didn't think like, just get a house cleaner one time to clean the house, you know? Or do the producers tell him, like, "Leave it how it would be," you know? Just to get a
Mm.
better reaction. How
It
go in through
wasn't,
the garage, you know?
yeah. Yeah, I know. I think that's him just being dumb. Like, well, I'm parked in the garage. Why would I then go through the front
Right,
door? The car's in the garage,
right,
Jasmine.
yeah.
So they walk in through the garage into the laundry room. And she goes, why are we walking right into the laundry? He's like, so here's the laundry. This is where you could wash your clothes when you're ready. She's like, but why are we coming in here, Gino? He goes, anyway, I'm going to get your luggage. So then they walk in the living area and he goes, what do you think of the decoration? Do you feel like you're in Panama? And she goes, okay, first of all, you've disrespected the flag. It's upside down. And he's like, what? She's like, this is our country that you have to be burned at the stake for this. And he's like, oh my God, I didn't mean to be disrespectful. And then she fixes the flag. And then she says in her talking head, my first impression is the ugly, ugly color of the walls. And it doesn't necessarily smell like garbage, but it smells like dusty, like the ruins. And so it's worse than I thought it was going to be. And if we don't make changes, it will never feel like home. So they walk into the kitchen.
It is depressing. It
It
is
is. It's not a great house.
it's the wallpaper, it's the color of the carpet,
It's the color of the walls
it's
is
the
like
color of the walls
poop.
and the
Yeah.
carpet and, like, the
Yeah.
color of the furniture too, it's just a lot of beige
Yeah.
and no
Brown on
color.
brown.
It's
Brown
bright
on
yeah,
brown.
it is depressing. There's
I
no, like,
agree.
natural light in the living room, it's just it
Mm-mm.
seems dark. I've lived in places like that. It made me depressed.
So they go in the kitchen and he's got the recycling bin just sort of blocking the way into the kitchen, which again, if you live in a place by yourself, like Ashley in her place with the curtains, it's fine. But now someone's going to be here. Or if you have somebody coming over, like Ingrid came over today and I shoved everything in the closet so it looked like I wasn't messy.
Mhm.
So she's
This
like,
is the famous recycling bin that we saw last season, which was piled high to almost to the ceiling with boxes of frozen dinners.
yeah. Ugh.
I remember that recycling bin.
Yeah. So she goes, what is this? This is like garbage? He goes, no, it's the recycling bin. This is where I put things. And she goes, hmm. So she starts going through the cabinets and she opens up one cabinet that is just like an ad for Campbell's chicken noodle soup.
All Campbell's. And
And
it's
she goes,
blurred, but you can still tell it's all
well, yeah,
Campbell's. Yeah.
because it's the red. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she goes, what's happening? Why do you have so many cans? Why so many chicken? Are you preparing for a zombie invasion? Why do you have all these plastic bags? And he goes, well, I use those for like when I travel and stuff. She goes like, oh
What?
my God.
What
It's
does
like
he
flat.
I kinda hoard plastic bags. I mean, I shop with recyclable bags, but if I occasionally get a plastic bag, I save it for, like, to take out my recycling. What does he mean he saves them for travel?
I don't know, because
Like,
where does he go? Just to Panama?
does he put toiletries in the plastic garb grocery
We're
bag?
not gonna be able to figure out what Gino does with those plastic
I'm
bags.
so fascinated by Gino's
So,
life.
take him back to the grocery store. So,
Oh, yeah, you
she
can
op
do that.
you could take him back, there's a space there at the grocery, put
Mhm.
him right in that little hole. So she opens the fridge and goes, "Gino, chocolate milk? This is why you have the farting problems. I don't know how you've made it to 54. No more eating from a box, Gino." So he's like, well, this is just like in case we needed something else to eat one day. She goes, why would we not eat the vegetables and the fresh fruits, Gino? So he's like,
You know what she likes. Like, why did you not buy that? And obviously, that's what you've been living on. And I live on it too, but I also live by myself. If I had like a healthy vegan coming to my house to
yeah.
live with me, I would haul out all the frozen dinners. Also, just try chocolate soy milk or almond milk. It's delicious.
He didn't want to buy anything new before she got there because he knew he was going to have to go to the grocery store. So why buy
Yeah.
something that she's not going to like?
Yeah. That's
So,
the thing a lot of the people on the show do is they're like, "I know the couch is ugly, but I wanted you to be able to pick out a new couch."
yeah.
So now we have this ugly couch.
So Coco pees on the carpet, and she was like, "No, Gino, that was already there." He goes, "No, I think Coco just peed on the carpet." She's like, "No, Gino," and he goes, "Go." He makes her go and touch it, and she's like, "Oh shoot, Coco."
She has
And
anxiety.
yeah, and she goes, "Coco has anxiety, and the flag was upside down. It upset Coco." So
Where is Coco's diaper?
I don't know why Coco's not wearing a diaper.
Like, my
So
Maltese always had a diaper if I was going into someone's house new who had
yeah,
carpet, because
yeah.
I do not want to have to clean up pee stains on carpet. It's embarrassing.
So Gino has a love hate relationship with Coco.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
understand.
So now they go to the bedroom where he has not made up the bed or flushed the toilet. And I can't talk about this much because this is the kind of thing that gives me the bleh. But she goes in the bathroom and she laughs, goes, Gino, you knew I was coming and you took a shit and didn't flush. He's like, no, I don't think so. Then she describes it, which I didn't need. But you're right. They have the same humor. She's talked about the chocolate milk and the farting. She's talking about the poop in the toilet. They have
Log. She calls it a log, and
the
they're laughing.
stop. I just said I didn't want to talk about it.
Sorry.
I can't talk about it. It's so gross to me. So
And then
she's
they zoom in on the toilet after
I
she flushed it, thank
after it
God,
was flushed, but
but
it was
it's gross.
definitely like gross
It's
and hasn't been
disgusting.
cleaned.
It needs to be cleaned.
So she's positive about the bathroom. She goes, okay, I could do something with this. Okay, we get new cabinets. Like this could replace this. Okay, this is very promising. We could change this. We could renovate. The bathroom is really good. So then they sit on the bed and she goes, how long have you had this bed? Because you know what she wants to know about the
Uh-huh.
ex, right?
Mhm.
And he goes, not
Did
that
you
old. Like
go
I
to
got it.
Legoland with this bed?
Was Legoland before or after you got this bed, Gino? So he goes, not that old. I got it like after my divorce is when I got it, is the correct answer.
Uh-huh.
And she goes, what's this on the bed? He goes, I don't know. Like I put lotion and then like I sit on the bed. She goes, am I going to get pregnant from laying on this bed? I was like, you
Gross.
guys are disgusting.
He says, "I put lotion all over my body and I sit
Bef-
on this bed." And I was
Yeah.
like, "Ugh, I can't."
She's thinking he's using the lotion for something else. And
Uh-huh.
again, we don't need your humor. You two were disgusting. So he goes, yeah, I probably could have washed the sheets and stuff. I was like, everything else is pretty clean, but you didn't wash the sheet, make up the bed, or flush the
The
toilet. What's
bed
wrong
is
with you?
unmade. Like, that kills me. He couldn't even freaking make a bed.
Like pull up the comforter at
Pull up
least.
the
It was like in a
comforter.
ball.
That is
God.
so rude. That's what it made me think. It's so unbelievably unbelievable that it made me think a producer was like, "No, don't make the bed or
Don't make up
unmake
the
the
bed.
bed."
Yeah.
I was like, "How could a man be this much of an idiot that he doesn't even make the bed?"
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, he's like, "Yeah, well, I get these sheets to wash. I can wash all the bedding and everything." She goes, "No, Gino, I went to all new beds. It's going to be new headboard, a new mattress. It's going to be the new under thing. It's going to be all the sheets. It's going to be everything will be brand new, Gino." He's like, "I don't know." He goes, we have to prioritize what we're doing with our money." She says, "I know it's going to be about the budget. I don't care." So she stands up
He's
and
gonna find out you're not working when you don't go to work on Monday. So
right.
he needs to tell her that he quit his job.
She's like, "Gino, I'm not going to feel comfortable in this bed. I've traveled over 2,300 miles and I won't sleep comfortable, but I guess if you're okay with your fiance not being comfortable, Gino." And then he
And that
says,
he she goes, "Then that shows what kind of man you are." And I was like,
yeah,
"That's a good guilt trip."
yeah. And he just looks at her. And then his talking head, he goes, yeah, I can't tell Jasmine that I quit my job because, I can't, but like, I can't afford all these changes right now. Like, I can't afford all these changes in the next 90 days or in the next year. Well, it's not going to turn out. So it was a good thing you guys had that trip to New York for the TLC party. Hopefully, you got to sleep in a nice hotel.
You know what,
and hopefully
I just spent a lot of time at Living Spaces, and they have a payment plan where you can spread out the payments.
Yeah, they live right by IKEA. We know this. We
Yeah,
know there's an IKEA in Canton.
go to
Get all sorts
IKEA.
of stuff there.
I love IKEA.
I
I might
love
get my
IKEA.
desk and side table at IKEA.
And then you'll put them together. Are you good at putting that stuff together?
Yes, I actually am.
I
Yeah.
am too.
Yeah.
I am too. Ah, I love it. Well, that's it. And I will tell you that today, when you and I logged on to chat with each other, oh, you know what I should do next time on? Sorry, rewind. Blip, blip,
Yep.
blip. Okay, next time on. Next time on, Jasmine comes out in a sexy nurse outfit, and he's like, "Whoa, baby, look at my sexy nurse." And then we see a shot of him. He has on like scrubs, and they're rolling around on the bed.
Wow, so their
Did you
first
notice that
night
he had on
together,
scrubs?
she did a full, like, cosplay
Yeah.
role-playing thing.
Mhm. And then later we see Gino and Jasmine getting massages, and she tells him about the butt implants and how all the money he was sending for the wedding dress, $10,000, she spent on her butt. And he stands up. It's like, this is exactly the kind of shit I was worried about. No new bed for you. Sleep on your ass. So next we see Ashley meeting with her mother, who Manuel's there as well. And her mom is saying, I don't like the way Manuel left his family without really saying what he was doing. And Ashley says, yeah, I ask a lot of questions, but my mother is a no joke. She will not stand for any of his bullshit. And mom's like, I need to know if I can trust you. And Manuel's like, no habla inglés.
I
I
love
don't,
you, chicken.
I love you, witchin'.
I
Then we see Nikki and Justin slash Igor are reunited, and she says she didn't think they were ready to be together in the past, like it just wasn't their time, but now it is their time. And then we see Sophie and Rob fighting, and she's saying she forgave Rob when he did the online cheating, but he's broke her trust, and he's like, when are you ever going to let it go?
Mm.
Once again, these people are supposed to be getting married in 90 days.
I get strong, Jabri and Miona vibes from them, and I don't know if it's just because they're both influencer model people,
Uh
but
huh.
and they're really into being in LA, and I know a
Uh
lot of
huh.
people like that, so that's the
Yeah.
vibe I'm getting.
Interesting. Okay. I'm not there.
If they go
Um,
to the reunion and Rob just starts yelling and picking fights with everyone like
oh
Jabri
God.
did, then we'll know for sure.
And then we see Manuel from the other side go, calm down, Sparkles.
Sparkles.
Calm down, Sparkles. Oh my gosh. What I was going to say before I forgot to do the next time on was when you and I logged on to chat, I was listening to you as you came on and said hi. And I go, oh, I'm listening to you right now. What did you say? You go, that's embarrassing.
I get really embarrassed.
I
Not
was just
embarrassing
listening.
for you, I get so embarrassed, like, if people are listening. I'm like,
Yeah, don't listen.
don't
Well,
listen."
do listen, but then don't listen. Not in front of me. Ah, it's weird. No,
My
I was
dad said
listening.
the last time he was at Living Spaces, he was wearing one of his many A Day with Dateline shirts,
Uh
and
huh.
some lady came up and goes, "Oh, I listened to that podcast," and he goes, "My daughter has something to do with it. I don't know." Like, he made a joke, and I guarantee you, she thought it was Dateline. Like, I know for a fact. I would love it for that
Yeah.
story to be that she listened to A Date with Dateline, but I fear that she just thought it was Dateline.
Well, it depends on what shirt it is, right? Because you guys have so many shirts.
Yeah, it depends on how big the date with was
Yeah.
and how big
Yeah.
the word Dateline was.
Well, we did see the exciting news this week that Keith Morrison, they're coming out with like a Halloween thing where he's going to read like Edgar Allan Poe to us.
Mhm.
And then I saw it
He's been
debuted at
begging.
number one. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
That's like, that's like ASMR. It's just like listen to Keith Morrison read you like
It's
The
on the
Raven or
Calm app,
whatever.
you know. He has a couple stories on the Calm app.
I know that. Yeah, I know that, but I'm not currently paying for that. I'll put it
I'm
that
not
way.
either, but they might sponsor us. We got a proposal, so I'm really excited
Oh, yeah.
because
You
that
know
would
who
be
else is on
perfect.
there? It's like I think Harry Styles is on there.
Oh, interesting.
I think John Legend is on there.
Oh, that
Yeah,
would be good.
it's just soothing,
Yeah.
calming you down.
Yeah.
If it was somebody like Harry Styles there, I might go somewhere dirty in my mind and not be able to concentrate.
Well, they have, like, sexy ASMR, but I don't approve of that. I'm a strict, normal, non-sexy ASMR gal.
I don't want any ASMR. I don't want anything. I
Some
don't
people
want
don't
any.
like it. I've been into it for many, many years because
Do you
when I
like a?
found out that other people had the same thing I had, like the
Yeah.
tingles, I was like, because I thought it meant I was dying because I've had it since I was a kid. Like, since I was a child, and so I was like, "Something's wrong with me," and I never told anyone, and then when I realized it was, like, an actual scientific thing, I was like, "Oh my god, I'm not alone," and they make YouTube videos.
So you what kind of sounds do you like to, like, listen to and watch? This is interesting to me for sure.
I like to watch people, like, doing something very detailed, like, maybe painting or putting together a puzzle and
Yes, uh-huh,
kind of rambling, talking, or, like, explaining something,
uh-huh,
like, personal attention, like doing your makeup. I
mhm.
don't really like the whispers, it kinda creeps me out, especially I don't watch any guy ASMRs because I find that it's creepy. So, it's only girls, and yeah, like I guess, like, explaining things, like, something very specific. I don't know, it's weird. And or, like,
But you're not
showing off their favorite movie collection. Like, "Here are my DVDs," and literally just talking about each movie. Like, something like that, I will get tingles and fall asleep to immediately.
but I don't feel like that's ASMR. When I think of ASMR, I think of like this,
I don't like that.
like
I
people
get
crumple
really
up the
annoyed with that.
paper or stuff
I
like that.
find with, like, a little bit of, like, tapping, and
Uh-huh.
a little bit, but they go on way too long with the tapping and the crinkling, and I get
Yeah.
really annoyed. I need, like, talking.
I like the videos when they do, like, when they're slicing something and then it's all different colors on the inside or, like, it falls, things
Oh,
like that.
that
Like, if
sounds
they've
cool.
melted a bunch of candles together or something, and
Yeah,
then it looks like one color, and then they slice it, and it's all different colors on the inside, like, and it falls all apart, things like
I like
that.
that.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
calming, it's
it's
calming.
calming, yeah. So you don't get tingles, but you just like the calming.
I like the calming things to watch. I don't necessarily like to listen. I don't wanna hear anybody crinkling paper or
Yeah,
being, like, up on a mountaintop and you're hearing the wind whistle or anything like that. Like,
no,
for 'cause all my whole life, the thing in my family is we always have had the white noise machines, just the just the white
mhm,
noise,
mhm.
and nobody I ever knew growing up had it, and so whenever anybody went with me on a trip or anything, then afterwards they would have to get it, or, like, my college roommate then had to get it because then you got so used to sleeping with the white noise.
Yeah, yeah,
But now, of course, we always had them in every room, for the kids and stuff, but now, of course, you can just do the app on your phone,
yeah.
which is nice because I have to fully used to have to travel with my sound machine. Like, I couldn't
Mhm.
go anywhere without it, and if the power's out, then you're screwed.
Yeah, yeah.
And one time I traveled up here to DC when I lived in Mississippi to visit my friends, and I was like, "I don't have a sound machine, like, what am I gonna do?" This is before the apps, and, my friend Mary, her husband Chris, my neighbors, he came in, he was like, "I figured something out," and he'd gotten, like, an old jam box and set it up to, like, static.
That's
And it was
amazing.
just a
That's so
station that wasn't there. It was
sweet.
like he was like, "This is good. I think this'll work for you." I was like, "Oh, perfect," because they
That's
had a
so
sound
nice.
machine, but he was like, "We can't give you ours,
No, we
obviously.
need ours.
We need ours for the sound machine."
See, I can't
Yeah,
do the what I need people talking. Like, I need, like, a YouTube video or a podcast or something.
I always have a podcast on. That's why I was just listening to yours, even though I haven't even watched that episode. I was still was like, "Oh, I just need to catch up and see
Yeah,
what's going on with On Date with Dateline."
yeah,
Yeah, and you guys don't forget also Kimberly and Katie now have A Date with the Bake, which is the Great British Baking Show. Is that what it's called?
correct. Yes. It's called
What was
something different in America. They have
Bake Off? Is
yeah,
it called?
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And I think that's because, Pillsbury owns, like, the term bake off or something in America. I can't there's, like,
Okay.
some weird, like, trademark issue, and that's why it's called something different here.
The Great British Baking Show is what it's
Yeah.
called here. But it's
Mhm,
British
exactly.
people baking and being funny, and then you guys cover it.
Yes, exactly, with our
Okay.
French bake, and we don't know about baking. Katie knows a little about baking, and we don't know about British things, so it's constantly, like, us Googling British slang and trying to figure it
Okay.
out. Yeah.
The slang is probably hilarious,
Yeah, it
right?
is, yeah.
I, speaking of, like, things that pop up on, like, your TikTok feed or whatever, person popped up today on the TikTok feed that was, like, a girl from, maybe Alabama or Georgia, but had lived in London for a few years, and she's like, "Listen, I know my person." I felt it so much because I know that when I go to London and come back, I'm gonna come back with an accent. It's gonna be
Yeah,
so embarrassing.
yeah.
It's going to be so embarrassing, and this girl was me. She was like, "My son came in from playing outside, and his coat is soaked through. It's soaked through, all the way through. Can you believe he was playing outside? We don't do that in America. In America, if it's raining, the kids go outside to play. Soaked through. Who knew?" And I was like, "This girl is from Alabama." And
Oh
that's
my
how I'm gonna talk
god.
after I'm there for a week, and I'm gonna be so embarrassed for myself.
It is embarrassing. I do
Yeah.
that too. Katie does that. Madonna, obviously, Gwyneth
Mm.
Paltrow, they've all
Yeah.
suffered. Yeah, that and now,
Yeah.
like, Meredith on Salt Lake City seems
Oh,
to because
that's because she was drunk.
she
Yeah.
was drunk and she turned British for a second. That's weird. I almost think that's what Gino is doing, like, with the US, like, coming to US,
Yeah.
but
Uh-huh.
Jasmine says the US, like, I don't even think Jasmine says it like that.
It's very strange. It's just like when we saw 90 Day UK, we did the tell all, and we had the Emma and Hussein, I think was his name. They got married. Anyway, she did like a let's see where are they now, and she came on the set. We're like, we don't need this. We do not need this. But she came on, and they were doing flashes of her and Hussein, and she's just like Hussein. Camping, you, me, outdoors,
Oh my
okay. She
god,
was
no.
talking to him like that, but also in an accent, and he was like from Egypt. She was talking to him with like a
What?
Middle Eastern accent, and she's British. It was
I
so awkward in 12 directions.
It's so offensive, but it's, like,
It's
not
a
some people just have that it's like a thing. That's how your brain works, where you start to mimic the people that you're
yeah,
around.
yeah.
That's hilarious. Well, what's
It's
her name?
really, really
I gotta
bad.
Google her. What's her name?
Emma, so it's Emma and Hossein, and they were on the first season of 90 Day UK.
I gotta see a picture because 'cause I'm sure oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
remember.
she
Oh, of
spoke to
course,
him in a
I remember.
Middle Eastern accent in broken English. Yeah.
She's the one whose daughter came with her and jumped up and put her legs around him, and I thought at the
Yeah,
airport,
that was
and I
weird.
was
Yeah.
like, "She's, like, 19," and it was so weird, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Is something going on with the daughter? I feel inappropriate."
Well, when she came to the season 2 series 2 tell all, when she came to the series 2 tell all, she didn't have her hair she always had her hair slicked so straight back, and
Yeah.
it was, like, long and hanging, and she looked really great. She said they'd just been on their honeymoon for 2 weeks, and then
Really?
she's trying to talk him into coming to the UK, but he really doesn't wanna leave Morocco or Turkey or wherever he was. He did not wanna leave
Interesting.
them. Yeah. And we're
That's
like, "Isn't that the whole point of the show?"
yeah. Okay, I have to watch. I'm still
Yeah.
behind on UK.
Okay, and I still need to remember to send you the episodes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I need to just subscribe to a higher level of your Patreon. I wanna see Katie's dance video.
Oh, well, that I could also just send you.
Or I pay for it like everybody else.
Oh god. Well, listen, I
$5. I need to be at the $10.
oh my god, I appreciate, you and Katie so much for all the help, and I can't wait that this coming week, I'm going to get to meet Katie in person.
Amazing.
I'm so excited.
I
I'm so
think that's gonna
excited.
be so much fun. I hope you take a picture.
I know, and then I'll get to meet you in March, and I thought I was gonna get to meet Keisha in person at BravoCon, but now she can't go.
Oh, that's a
So,
bummer.
I know.
Is
I was
Ingrid going with you? Is that why you were
yes.
doing outfits together? Okay.
Yeah, we were really talking about, like, our swag bags for our party and stuff, and we're
Yeah.
trying to really get our schedule together because we arrive Wednesday morning, like, pretty early. We're leaving here at 7:30 in the morning, our flight. So when we get there, they were 3 hours ahead. It's very confusing. So that's what we were trying to, like, okay, when do we have an early dinner, but we did that because for us it'll be 8:45, but for
Yeah.
them it'll be 5. We're trying to, like and then figure out our sleeping, and then
Yeah.
should we get the makeup people to come and do our makeup, or should we just be like, "Forget it?"
Yeah.
And then we got our T-shirts made that say, like, Pink Shade BravoCon 2023, like, we got our
Oh,
T-shirts made and
cute,
stuff for
cute.
during the day,
Yeah.
but then, like, the colors aren't bright enough, right? So it doesn't quite look right like the logo. It's a lot of moving parts, and I am stressed to the
I
max
feel
about
you
it.
because I just did CrimeCon. I
Yeah,
know it's so exhausting. And
yeah.
I got all the merch and stuff so late. I paid a fortune in express shipping, and
Oh,
I had to carry a second duffel that weighed over 50 pounds. Like, I almost
yeah,
had to pay extra for it because it was so much merch that I had to have my
yes,
neighbor get it into my car because, like, it was so heavy. Because I had
yeah,
buttons, like metal buttons and bingo cards, and I feel you.
yeah,
But you're
the
gonna feel
merch.
so good when it's over if you don't get COVID like I did. You're gonna feel so amazing when it's over, and you could rest for a second.
Yeah, I just got my COVID and my flu shot last
Good.
week, so Fingers
Good.
crossed. My husband did go back and forth to France and did not bring home bed bugs, so that was also encouraging.
I heard about that because my brother was just on his honeymoon in Europe, and my parents said it was all over the news that, like,
All over the news.
Portugal and France or whoever had bed bug
And
infestation.
London too, don't forget.
Oh
Because
god.
people do the channel, which we'll be doing from Paris to London, and they're bringing them back and forth in the channel.
Oh my god.
I know, but he said everywhere I had sent him so many videos on how to check.
Yeah,
He didn't bring any home, and, I
great.
mean, I packed black garbage bags in his thing. I was like, "All your clothes go in the black garbage bag."
Yeah, yeah.
And he, like, unpacked his suitcase, like, in the bathroom,
Yes.
on the
And then do
tile
you just
floor.
wash everything in, like, a boiling hot water?
Yeah, when he got home, we did, but he was like, he never saw one. He searched every room because he was in 3 different hotels. He searched every single
Ugh.
thing. He searched the when they were on the train, he searched
Good,
that, make sure there
good.
was none on a seat. I was like, "I think you'll know when you start getting bug bites all over you." He's like, "Oh
Yeah.
my god."
Oh my god, I can't.
But I did have a bunkie reach out to tell me exactly how, like, she travels a lot, and she sent me this thing that you can get on Amazon, which is literally like a suitcase oven. So when you come home, you put your entire suitcase in this oven and then turn it on, and it heats this plastic that everything up to this certain amount of degrees. So if there are any bed bugs in your suitcase, you don't even unzip your suitcase. And I was like, "I'm
Genius.
not buying the bug oven for
I mean, it's like
$400."
the thing for your toothbrush that, like,
Yes.
UV kills all the germs. I have one of those.
Yes.
But this sounds very large and
It's
intense.
big.
Yeah, it
And
must be big, yeah.
and you
You
put your
can't use
just
it for
what you
anything
don't
else.
need, you just put it right in your suitcase, right in it before you go anywhere else. You go, like, right in the garage and stick it in there.
Wow.
Isn't that wild? I was like, "I can't go that far. I can't go
No,
that far."
it sounds expensive.
I think it was like $400.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
I was like, "Mm-mm." I was
No.
like, "Lysol will have to do the trick in this
Yeah.
house." Oh my gosh. Well, everybody, you know where to follow Kimberly and Katie. They're at Dateline on Instagram. And you guys know where to follow us at Pink Shade Pod. I'm so close to getting to 8,000, guys. And after BravoCon, if I'm not at 10,000, I'm going to throw myself into the Hoover Dam. Like, that's the closest body of something I could throw myself into in Vegas,
Mhm.
because if it doesn't work after this, I don't know. I don't know what, and then maybe we could swipe up. Maybe we can't. We don't know.
Yeah,
We don't know. We
but
don't know the answer.
we still want it to happen.
Still want it.
It's like a mental, emotional achievement that you just
Yes.
yeah.
It's just like you with the ASMR people pointing out their videos. It's
Yeah.
like me with that 10,000. It's like a Rain Man thing. I gotta get there. I gotta get there. All right, everybody. We will be back next week to talk to you about more 90 Day Fiance. And we have to assume that the title of it will be Dearly Beloved. That was one. We are gathered here today to join this
Join
man and
this
this woman,
cozy feel in matrimony or something. Yeah.
or if we're following Prince, to celebrate this thing we call life.
Right.
It depends. God, wouldn't that'd be an amazing turn if we start talking about the
Yes.
banana and the elevator and the don't let the purple thing bring you down. Wouldn't
Oh
that be
my god.
great?
I'm so
Be
into it.
amazing. It's copyright violation all over the place. All right, Kimberly, I'll talk to you next week.
Bye, thank you.
Bye. Ads not read by me, Mary Payne, don't necessarily reflect the views of Pink Shade. If you'd like to listen to ad-free, you're going to go on over to Supercast or Patreon, and you can find the links to Pink Shade Prime at pinkshadepodcast.com.